Good morning and good evening to everyone joining us today. My name is Rene Acosta, Asia Regional Director for Clean Cities Blue Ocean. On behalf of the entire program team, thank you for being with us today as we celebrate the launch of a new dedicated effort to advance gender equality and women's economic empowerment in the solid waste and recycling sectors. We're excited to share with you over the next hour how this activity called Women in Waste Economic Empowerment, we for short, will pilot a new approach in Metro Manila, Philippines that is designed not only to advance women's position in the sector, but through this advancement, address critical issues such as ocean plastic pollution and the significant contributions of mismanaged waste to the climate crisis. We're particularly thrilled to have several partners with us this morning who are joining WE, transforming the activity into a multi-partner initiative involving local governments, non-governmental organizations, and private sector foundations, enabling greater reach, potential for impact, and long-term sustainability. Their commitments mean that the activity you will learn about this morning could just be the start of an approach that can be expanded and not just in the Philippines but around the world. In today's event, you will learn how WE's five component approach will support women working in waste, hear from several of our partners on how they are engaging with the activity, and join with us in celebrating the infield launch of the activity. At this point, I'd like to introduce Arianne Olegario, the Deputy Activity Manager for Clean Cities Blue Ocean's We Activity, who will be guiding us through the program this morning.
Thank you, Renee, and good morning to all. To kick us off, we are grateful and honored to be joined by Sean Callahan, Acting USAID Mission Director to the Philippines, Pacific Islands, and Magnolia, who is posted here in Manila. Previously, Mr. Callahan was the Deputy Assistant Administrator for the Program Operations in USAID's Bureau for Legislative and Public Affairs in Washington, D.C. Sean has also served as the Deputy Mission Director to Cambodia and is the Regional Legal Advisor to USAID missions in Egypt, Georgia, and Indonesia. Mr. Callahan, thank you for being here with us this morning.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here, and good morning to everyone. It is an honor to be here today representing the United States Agency for International Development, also known as USAID. This year, USAID celebrates its 60th anniversary, established in November 1961 by President John F. Kennedy. USAID is the world's premier international development agency and a catalytic actor driving development results. We have been here in the Philippines for 60 years ourselves, and we're very honored that we are here today. For the past 66 decades, we have collaborated with the Philippines government, private sector, and local organizations to improve everyday lives, investing more than $5.1 billion towards shared development goals since 1961. Every year, excuse me, every year, 8 million tons of plastic are discarded into the oceans, eventually making their way into the human food supply, particularly through fish products. The economic impact of plastic waste are felt around the globe, including the Philippines, especially in the tourism and fisheries sector. In fact, several scientific reports now cite the potential human health ramifications of consuming fish that have ingested microplastics. The waste and recycling sectors are more than just outlets for the world's waste. They are also the primary means of income for millions around the world. Across the globe, women play a critical role in solid waste management and recycling sectors. They serve in both formal and informal positions as waste collectors, owners, or employees of small recycling centers and junk shops, workers in plastic and pre-processing companies, and sometimes as owners or workers in upcycling enterprises. But despite the prevalence in critical roles, women often face gendered structural barriers that limit their earning power and constrain their access to opportunities for upward mobility. For example, Because women have limited access to credit, training, and time, they tend to work in the informal solid waste management sector, where they receive low wages, few health and safety protections, and are at heightened risk of gender based violence, including sexual harassment. As a global community, we have an opportunity to address these inequities. In designing more robust solid waste systems and circular economies that can address the ocean plastic crisis, we can ensure that these systems are built equitably, with the rights, protections, and living wages provided for those that are most central to the sector. That is why today I am pleased to have the opportunity to be with all of you and share how USAID is partnering with the government of the Philippines to advance gender equality and women's economic empowerment, all while turning the tide on ocean plastics. Through its Clean Cities Blue Ocean program, USAID is launching its Women in Waste Economic Empowerment activity, or WE for short. The WE activity will empower women to advance through the solid waste value chain by establishing or expanding their livelihoods and businesses. WE offers innovative business and personal empowerment trainings to increase women's technical and foundational skills, as well as a small business incubator program with funding and mentorship opportunities. The activity is tailored to Filipino women working at all levels of the solid waste management and recycling sectors, from waste collectors and junk dealers to women with established waste upcycling repurposing businesses, enabling women to be part of a supportive network with access to larger markets and public sector contracts. We are proud to say that next year, the program will also be scaled to Indonesia, drawing from lessons learned here in the Philippines. This is a truly unique opportunity for the Philippines to set that regional example through your leadership and vision. USAID strongly believes that successful development initiatives are achieved through partnerships and collaboration, community engagement, and customized solutions designed according to local systems and environments. The challenges of addressing gender equality and ocean pollution are no different. So we are pleased to partner with you and to have this opportunity to launch the activity. We're thrilled to be doing this with an amazing group of local government, private sector, and partners from non-government organizations. This is precisely the approach with multiple stakeholders. The challenge is bigger than any of us, so we believe that it's the right approach for all of us to be working together. So we are thrilled to join you today, where Clean Cities Blue Ocean will announce several partner organizations that will work with USAID to pilot this innovative approach. On behalf of the USAID and the American people, we extend our helping hand to address a shared problem with answers that will lead us to act not alone, but through partnerships, community engagement, and innovative solutions. Maraming salamat po, and good morning to all. Thank you.
Maraming salamat rin, Mr. Callahan, for being here with us today. Next, I'd like to introduce the manager of the Women in Waste Economic Empowerment activity, Ms. Ana de Chavez, to tell us more about the WE activity and its components. Ana leads the WE program here in Metro Manila and will oversee the activity's expansion to select cities in Indonesia in 2022. Ana has over 20 years of experience in the private financial sector, where she was responsible for financing micro, small, and some medium-sized enterprises in the Philippines. Ana, over to you.
Thank you, Ariane. As Renee noted at the outset, Clean Cities Blue Ocean is thrilled to be launching the WE program in Metro Manila with a host of committed partners. Over the next few minutes, I'd like to share a bit more with you about the activity and how we have designed the initiative to build a strong, sustainable network that advances women in the sector. The Women in Waste Economic Empowerment is a part of the 5-year global USAID Clean Cities Blue Ocean program, which was launched in 2019 to prevent further ocean plastic pollution by addressing primary sources of pollution in rapidly urbanizing cities. The program works across 7 countries in more than 25 cities. Here in the Philippines, we are engaging in several cities within Metro Manila, as well as in Iloilo, Batangas, and Puerto Princesa. We know that by increasing the adoption of the 3 Rs, reduce, reuse, and recycling, and by improving local solid waste management systems, we can stop the flow of plastics and other waste to rivers, bays, and ultimately the ocean. We also know that women are core to the everyday function of solid waste management systems, but they are commonly underrepresented and lack access to opportunities available to male peers. The WE activity aims to address these inequalities and seize ripe opportunities for women to advance in the sector, ultimately improving livelihoods and building more robust services and systems that can reduce waste impact on the environment. In 2020, CCBO was awarded additional gender equality and women's economic empowerment funding from USAID to develop and launch WE. Through focus grants and CCBO provided technical assistance, WE establishes a new support and incubator network for women in Metro Manila's solid waste management and recycling sectors to establish or grow their businesses. WE provides training, mentorship, coaching, and access to startup capital to support women entrepreneurs' training and financial needs to develop or expand their businesses, focusing on women at the lowest levels of the SWM value chain and those with waste upcycling or repurposing businesses. WE is comprised of five sequential components: basic business skills and empowerment training, specifically for women, including topics like leadership, negotiation skills, solid waste management skills, and addressing gender based violence. Business plan coaching and evaluation, where women can develop business plans and paired with mentors and coaching if they like to pitch a proposal for funding. Funding support through WE and its partners, creating a unique blended financing approach. Advanced business management training. Mentorship where women can receive training that builds on the basic curriculum they have completed and complements their real world experience. And lastly, public and private sector market opportunities, wherein women are connected with market opportunities that can provide more stable income and employment opportunities, such as receiving a municipal waste service contract. To achieve our program objectives, we works together with local government, NGOs, members of the private sector, and community members. One of the aspects that makes today's event so special is that we are able to announce for the first time the wonderful group of organizations that have joined WE as partners in implementation and sustainability. I'd like to announce them now, and we'll hear from several of their representatives in a bit in our panel discussion. We is fortunate to have the support of two implementing partners, our implementing grantee, EcoWaste Coalition, and CCBO partner, the Johns Hopkins University Sea Change Initiative, which are both supporting the development and implementation of the activities basic business and empowerment skills training. Coca-Cola Foundation Philippines. CCF Philippines has helped hundreds of thousands of Filipinos through programs in water, environment, education, health, and livelihood. One of its current programs are improving waste management systems. We is looking forward to a partnership with CCF Philippines in 2022. Rotary Club of Alabang Madrigal Business Park. Rotary shares an interest in protecting the environment. They empower communities to access resources, embrace local solutions, and spur innovation to address the causes and reduce the effects of climate change and environmental degradation. The partnership of RCAMBP with WE is one of its efforts to heed this clarion call. Linis Ganda is a federation of environment multi-purpose cooperatives. The partnership between WE and Linis Ganda is built upon a strong network of women junk shop owners and eco-aids. Linis Ganda has been supporting WE in the identification of women who participated in the co-creation process and women who will be trained. Technical Education and Skills Development Authority. TESDA is aligned with WWEE's objectives to advance the economic status of women through training, entrepreneurship development, gender sensitive policies, programs and projects, and research and advocacy. TESDA's role as a technical vocational education training authority in the country will guide WWEE to sustain the training for women in the solid waste management sector even after the program ends in 2024. Pasig City Environment and Natural Resources Office and the Parañaque City Environment and Natural Resources Office play a role in the development of plans and strategies on the environment and natural resources programs and projects in its respective cities. CENRUS provide the needed technical and implementation expertise on solid waste management. Both Pasig and Parañaque CENROS have implemented programs with women. Pasig has a mobile plastic collection program led by an all-women team, and Parañaque has been facilitating trainings with women on upcycling businesses. We is complementing the CENROS work with women, working in ways by providing training, mentoring, and funding support. Before we transition into the panel, I'd like to invite you to watch a short video to learn more about the wonderful women that we will be working with. In one of my presentations, one male audience asked me a question. Why focus only on women in this activity? Think you're not biased? The waste sector in general is facing deprivation of social and economic opportunities. There are health and safety issues due to the nature of the work. In addition to these occupational challenges, women in waste sector must deal with the demands from domestic and child care responsibilities. Women have limited opportunities to generate comparable income.
Women in the waste sector face numerous challenges related to the nature of the actual activity. It's very arduous. Women often have to carry heavy loads with very little financial benefit. Most of these women are working as waste pickers for the survival of their family.
The main challenges that we observe with women working in the waste sector is that these women's skills and capabilities are not recognized and are usually undermined by their community. They are always ranked second place.
The unique aspect of our program is around this idea of personal empowerment, because we use scientifically backed strategies to help individuals learn how to use the power of their mind, their thoughts, their beliefs, their feelings, and help them focus their future actions toward the visions that they have for their life and their business.
Its training component and the intervention will not only advance women's access to business opportunities, but will also address gender equality in SWM, support personal empowerment, and will help women recognize and respond to gender-based violence both at home and in the workplace. Unless we focus on addressing gender-related constraints that women face, the simple provision of training and funding will not suffice the achievement of our desired economic empowerment.
I see the WWEE program as serving as an incubator or accelerator for the success of women's waste businesses, something that's absolutely critical to focus on. With climate change and the continued issues around the management of solid waste, we really need to support activities that not only engage the livelihoods for these women, but also benefit the planet as a whole.
We envision that through this project, women shall have capacity developed in solid waste management. Thus, their role and representation in the value chain will be recognized and eventually be formalized.
For the final portion of our program today, I'd like to introduce our partners and panelists from the private and public sectors. Each one is a partner to empower women working in waste. With us today, we have Maria Cecilia Alcantara, President of the Coca-Cola Foundation Philippines. Mrs. Lumen Teves, the Vice Chairperson and founding member of Linis Ganda Federation. Rolando V. Bade, Director 3, Office of the Deputy Director General for the Communities and Local Government Unit Services of TESTA. We also have Teresa Kyoge, the Supervising Environmental Management Specialist for Senro in Parañaque, LGU. Thanks to each one of you for being here with us today for this event and discussion. May I call on Ms. Cecil, the Coca-Cola Foundation President. And I just want to ask with you that you were one of the first organizations to express desire to partner with WWEE and willingness to support the activity. Can you tell us more about what drew the foundation to WWEE activity and what challenges the foundation has experienced in its other initiatives that are planned to be addressed through WWEE?
Yeah, thank you, Anna. Ariane, I'm sorry. Coca-Cola Foundation Philippines started to work with NGOs on waste management solutions for communities 3 years ago. Of special interest to us is the informal waste sector, which has been responsible for the vast majority of current collection for recycling in the Philippines. Women empowerment is also important to us, and so we saw that we was a good fit. We aim to uplift the lives of those in the informal waste sector, and we want to empower people working in the sector, and many of them are women, for a sustainable future.
Thank you, Ms. Cecil. Our aims are really very much aligned.
Yes.
With that, may I also call Mrs. Teves, and she has she is also leading a large network of eco aids or informal waste collectors. Mrs. Teves, what are some of the challenges you've seen, especially amongst women waste collectors you've worked with, and how do you see we supporting them?
Linis Ganda is a group of junk shop owners and eco aid. But we call our association as Recyclers Association to uplift our name. Way back in 1992, it was a group of women's balikatan, organized by two powerful women, Mrs. Leonardo Camacho and Sonia Matay. We have 2,500 members composed of junk shop owners and eco aids. We are an NGO with promoting the advocacy of 3 Rs: reduce, reuse, and recycle. All recyclable materials from household, schools, private and government offices, malls, and establishments, throwing or disposing recyclable materials were collected by our group. From women's group before, in 1990 to 1992, we recruited various waste sectors to increase our group, composed of junk shop owners, eco aids, recyclable sellers, and other pro-environment groups. Many projects affiliations with private and government agencies were organized and done by the Linis Ganda. There are many challenges that we encountered during this pandemic. One of those are the limited movement due to tight implementation of IATF protocol. We are a group of women's and eco aids in the waste sector promoting the collection, use, and recycling of all recyclable materials. We hope that we can help and join this group promoting and uplifting the women of the waste sector.
Thank you, Mrs. Davis. We're really excited with working with Linisganda, as you've also been one of our first partners in our implementation. Thank you, Mrs. Davis. I would also like to invite Director Bade of TESTA. Director Bade, the community-based training for enterprise development program is primarily addressed to the undersourced, the poor and vulnerable marginal groups, those who cannot access or are not accessible by formal training provision. It is purposely designed to catalyze the creation of livelihoods enterprises that shall be implemented by the trainees immediately after the training. With that, how can TESTA assist partner agencies such as the LGUs, NGOs, and other organizations who are involved in the implementation of this program to continue WE even after the program closes in 2024?
Good morning, Arianne. Good morning to everyone, to our distinguished guests and colleagues from both the government and private organizations, and of course to my co-panelists. Firstly, let me congratulate the group behind the successful launch of this project of CCBO, or the Clean Cities Blue Ocean, that clearly empowers women from the solid waste management sector through its WWEE, or the Women in Waste Economic Empowerment, by initiating not just the collection and maintenance of our waste, but also to drive others by providing them with the necessary skills that leads to managing their own business. And constantly, of course, the ocean plastic reduction. After several meetings with CCBO, with Ma'am Ana de Chavez, Ma'am, good morning, I can now say that it has come to a fruition. ESTA has been in full support of the WWEE, and the previous heads before me have shared their knowledge and expertise on two important aspects as follows. First, the basic business empowerment and skills training curriculum. The modules are now outlined following the guidelines of DESTA and common competency aligned with the TESDA's competency standards, making sure that it's in accordance with the industry standard. Second, trainers to be certified by Johns Hopkins University will now be accredited by TESDA as certified community-based trainers. Currently, the corresponding draft memorandum of understanding between TESDA and the Tetrotech, the prime contractor of the WWEE project, is being reviewed by TESDA for subsequent approval of our Secretary, Director General Isidro S. La Peña, which will eventually finalize the accreditation of both the BBEST curriculum and the pioneering batch of the community-based trainers. So how we can support you after piloting this project beyond 2024? TESDA can assist in streamlining the project. First, making the curriculum available to other coastal, urban, and rural areas through the LGUs, depending on the agreement between TESDA and the concerned LGUs. As a member of the National Solid Waste Management Commission, TESDA can support in the institutionalization through an administrative order. And the third is introduce the WWEE in the different women organizations in the country. So in a nutshell, this can have a wider reach which the country can definitely benefit from. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Director Bade, for those commitment from expanding the WE or the BBEST program to the local governments and to the Women Network, and also into institutionalize this is such a perfect way to sustain this program by 2024. Thank you, Director Bade. I would also like to introduce this time Engineer Tere from the Pasig City Senro. Parañaque City has, apologies, Parañaque City has been providing training for women upcyclers in Parañaque with about over 60 women. How does we align with and build on the current work you are doing? Over to you, Engineer Tere.
Thank you, Ms. Arianne. First, the City Environment and Natural Resources Office, City Government of Parañaque would like to thank the USAID's Clean Cities Blue Ocean with this launching of program entitled Empowering Women in Waste activity in the Philippines, which aims to empower women working in Metro Manila's waste and recycling sector, offering access to trainings, a small business incubator program, and a supportive network for increased market access and opportunities. How do we see activity in women in waste in economic empowerment support center, especially in the waste solid waste program? At the time our central office was being established, we have envisioned the vital role of women in solid waste management programs. First, our community relation and information division is composed of mostly women, created from the pool of personnel from our street sweepers who are with educational competencies, which at the time will do the task of being our information officers. We also launched the following programs like Order MRS or Nemesis, the abbreviation MRS having two meanings. Um, First is a catch for Mrs. or housewives or women in the households to be our cooperators in dissemination of cities, cities waste management programs. Second meaning and actually the real meaning is materials recovery system, urging them to develop a community waste management system, even in the absence of the MRF or the structure itself. And now the we will have its own group different from the ones we have in Centro, which will soon complement our existing solid waste management programs. That's all. Thank you, Ms. Arian.
Thank you. Thank you, Engineer Tere. Indeed, Parañaque is committed in working with women in ways and establishing local systems. And we and Parañaque City, we are excited to be working together. With that, thank you so much to all our panelists for today. Thank you to all those watching us online. And we are excited about our partnerships and the work that is to come. Indeed, there is indeed more and more work to come, but let me share with you a mantra. A mantra is something that we can repeat, especially in times when it's challenging or especially in times when it's also good, that we can all use. It is in Tagalog. Tuloy-tuloy, tulong-tulong. Forging forward, supporting one another to empower women and waste. Thank you again, everybody, and that concludes our program. Enjoy the rest of your day or your evening. Thank you again for being here.